Pokemon Legends Z-A is just weeks away, and the pressure has never been higher. After Scarlet and Violet's messy launch, fans are desperate for Game Freak to deliver something truly great. And with Mega Evolutions returning in a futuristic Lumiose City, this might be their chance. But if Legends Z-A wants to be remembered as a franchise-defining game, this is everything that it absolutely needs to get right. First off, we desperately need an engaging story. Legends Arceus surprised fans with a darker, more mysterious story, and Z-A needs to build on that. It was such a nice change to finally get a more serious tone in a mainline Pokemon game, and it's something that Game Freak needs to try to replicate coming into Legends Z-A. They have an amazing opportunity heading into a futuristic Lumiose City, and it is just full of possibilities. They can get into political intrigue, social tension, and personally, I really hope we get more of this college connection to its war/history. There's such a deep story when it comes to the Great Pokemon War and everything that came along with it, and I really hope we get to flesh that out more in Legends Z-A. Additionally, with the whole concept of Mega Evolution returning, I think there's an amazing opportunity to be able to explore Mega Evolution ethically. It'll be interesting to see how they explain that some Pokemon now can Mega Evolve who previously couldn't in X and Y, and I'm really interested to see how they're going to try to spin that on the story. I think the evil team in this story could really be somebody who's trying to push Mega Evolution to its brink, and in doing so is harming Pokemon, and that's going to be the moral dilemma we have to deal with throughout the story. For the evil team in this story, I really want somebody who's kind of similar to in Black, White and Black and White 2. A character who's morally complex and who you can kind of find yourself sympathizing with at times and disagreeing with at other times. I don't want somebody as unserious as Team Star, but I also don't want somebody as straight up evil as Team Rocket. I want somebody that has some complexity and some layers to them. I don't want the entire premise of the story to just be to stop the bad guys. I want it to tie into Colossus lore, the Megastone origins, and give us characters that we actually care about and grow with throughout the story. And please, 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 if we get an Elite Four and champion, give the champion some aura, bro. I'm tired of these friendly champions. I need a champion that's going to intimidate me. And next, we have a really big one for me. Quality Mega Evolutions. Megas are the headline feature of this game, and we've already seen a few of the new ones, and they already look incredible, so my hopes are high. I am upset that they're locking Mega Greninja, Chestnut, and Delphox behind a paywall, but the Mega Evolution designs themselves are super sick. As long as they don't lock anything else behind a paywall like that, I don't have a huge problem with it, but it is still super annoying that I have to pay to get Mega Greninja. But aside from those three Megas, all the Mega designs that we've seen so far have been pretty amazing in my opinion. It's just so hyped to have Mega Evolutions back in general, and I'm really excited to see what other designs are going to bring us. Obviously, we also get to bring back all the old fan favorites like Mega Charizard X, Mega Venusaur, and all of those, and we get to see some new ones that are going to make Mega Evolutions feel fresh. But we need a balance between competitive viability and jaw-dropping designs that will make Megas feel like a true return of a beloved mechanic and not just a nostalgia bait for marketing. And like I said, from what we've seen so far, all the new Mega designs look pretty incredible, so hopefully they can just keep that trend going and give us some more amazing, memorable, iconic designs. And I swear, if we do not get a Mega Flygon, the crash out is going to be generational. And that brings me to point 3. We need improved performance. With the release of the Switch 2, Pokemon really has no more excuses for having poor performance in this game. Scarlet and Violet's biggest flaw was its performance, and Legends Arceus, while it wasn't as bad, still was not ideal. We have the Switch 2 now, and this is Game Freak's best opportunity to show that Pokemon can actually look and run like a modern AAA franchise. We need stable frame rate, fewer visual glitches, and better textures, and that will just go a long way in making this game so much better to play. With all the new battle mechanics and free roaming in Legends Z-A, I am really hoping the Switch 2 will be able to handle it and handle it smoothly. It would just be such a shame to see another mainline Pokemon game suffer so heavily just because of performance issues and optimization issues. And fourthly, we need a meaningful rival. Rivals used to be some of the most iconic characters in the entire series. Blue, Silver, and people like that. And while Nemona was not a bad rival by any means, I think she was actually a step up from what we have been getting. They need to continue that trend and give us an amazing rival in Legends Z-A. In order for a rival to truly be a good rival, they have to be competitive with you, and they have to push you to your limit. You and your rival have to be striving for the same goal and going in the same direction for the entirety of the story, and then it should climax at the end. Think of how in Pokemon Sun and Moon, the way that you guys were both racing to be the champion, and eventually you guys get to battle, and that last battle just feels so rewarding because you've both been working towards the same place the entire story. With someone like Nemona, she was already stacked before the story even started, and she held back on you until the very end. It just wasn't the same. It wasn't as rewarding as how growing alongside you. The next thing we need is a real challenge for the experienced players. One of the most common criticisms for Pokemon is that it's too easy, but Legends Arceus did show us a bit of a different approach that they can take to these games. Personally, I really feel like Legends Arceus had that perfect balance of challenge and not being too hard for new players. Not only were there some amazing trainer boss battles in Legends Arceus, but the frenzied Pokemon battles were all super fun and unique. Legends Z-A needs to build off the foundation that Legends Arceus has already laid down for it. Personally, I feel like the best way to go about this is simply adding a challenge mode. They've done it before in Black and White 2, and I know they can do it again. Give us better AIs, better NPC teams, and higher difficulty overall. A challenge mode where trainers would use actual teams that have actual strategy like terrain and stuff like that would make this game so much more enjoyable and so much more challenging. If you give experienced players a reason to strategize, it will keep this game from feeling like just another hand-holdy adventure. And please let me skip the how to catch a Pokemon animation in this game, bro. I've seen it 1,000 times. And that brings me to my final point. We need a solid post-game and good replayability. Post-game is just where so many Pokemon games simply fall flat. Legends Arceus had repeatable missions, but there was little reason to return after you complete them. While there was a lot of content in the missions, some of them were really boring and not that engaging, and there was no reason to do them twice in the second playthrough. Z-A needs to do something that will keep the players invested. Battle facilities, new quests, legendary hunts, or even DLC expansions, which we've already gotten confirmed, basically. With the whole premise of the game revolving around going from rank Z to rank A, they have to do something in the post-game with some kind of battle stadium or something like that. And outside of the post-game, we just need a story that is replayable by itself. This is a lot to ask, but if there's any way to implement some kind of story that has 2 different branches you can go down at some point, that would make the replayability so much better. If we can get a Pokemon game that will give you different endings depending on the path you take, we will be winning so hard. But at the end of the day, replayability is kind of a culmination of all 5 of my other points coming together to make the game enjoyable to play. Pokemon Legends Z-A truly has the chance to be more than just another Pokemon release. It could genuinely be a game that defines the series for the next decade. But Game Freak needs to listen to fans and nail these key elements. But what do you guys think the game needs to succeed? Let me know in the comments, leave a like, subscribe for more Pokemon content. Remember, Jesus loves you, and I will see you all next time.